When we talk about the media and everything, you were saying that the money the American gave the money to the CCP. Explain me why you say that.
Okay, so anyway, the whole concept of free enterprise is you make money by producing it the most economically possible, selling it for the highest price. Okay, so in America, when the Chinese came in and were willing to do what Americans would do for $4 a day, where Americans were taking $14 an hour, our entrepreneurs and all of the industry shipped our jobs over to China, and we let slave labor make the money, and just we try to live off of the top echelon of the business, and that made China very, very rich so that they could buy America, and they have bought America.
Actually, they didn't make China rich. They made 100 families of the CCP kleptocrats rich. And on the other hand, American people lost the well-paying job. And China became the biggest modern slavery. So how do we end this?
How do you end it? The only thing that has effectively ended it so far is President Trump's first tariff. That has put the brakes on a lot of Chinese development where they have to do reciprocity, that as much goes into their country as what goes out. It needs to have a second and third step of reciprocity, and we have to establish some equilibrium here of where we have the wages being poor in a slave nation cannot take all the money and leave us poor.
So we're talking about, American is fighting a lot of fights right now, including the J6 and election, the Twitter file. But we're talking about, in your system right now, especially the DOJ, the check the fact checker or investigate the investigator. There's a lot of compromised individuals serving, from the Capitol Hill to a congressional leader like a Judy Chu that recently just be exposed, and to business leader down to your non-organizational community leaders. So how do average Americans to root out those CCP traitors, the American traitors and CCP agents in your system right now?
Well, in America, of course, everything depends on the election. And we have to elect good people, and we have to do as we did with our House this time, and take control, which gives us tremendous power to do subpoenas and all of those kind of things. But the fact that we didn't take the Senate, and the fact that Biden stole the presidency from President Trump, has put us in a terrible, terrible position to do that.
Do you think the Select Committee on China or the weaponization, the subcommittee weaponization of the federal government agency would help?
Oh, very, very definitely. It will help. But as long as Merrick Garland remains the Attorney General of the United States, and the Senate remains in Democratic hands, and the President remains in Democratic hands, all of that can be vetoed.